Ha ha. You better choose yourself and let's get it. Welcome to another episode on the Choose Yourself channel. Now, today's guest does not need a highlight reel. His body already tells the story, from building muscle and building others as a fitness trainer to working his mental muscle just to stay alive. I first saw him eating and drinking online, but the food was coming out of a bag below his collarbone. And I thought to myself, what would I do if I was in this position? How am I able to stay positive in times of uncertainty and discomfort? So when I continued to look at his page and I saw his positivity and his message and his journey and what he looked like before, jacked, fitness trainer, normal dude, like me and like you. But now, through his story, he's had to shift his mindset, find a faith bigger than him, and find a way to take it one day at a time. Now, some people start with less oxygen and less mobility and less money and less guidance and less margin and less room for error, and yet they still show up. So why can't you? Now, comparison can be the thief of joy or the booster of gratitude, depending what you're comparing to. He's a personal trainer, fitness coach, and an entrepreneur. But more than that, he's a survivor rebuilding his health, his life, and his belief one rep at a time. Now, this episode isn't about motivation. It's about the foundation. Because when the body is compromised, the mind must be fortified. And when comfort is unavailable, discipline becomes the oxygen. And when control is gone, belief in something greater than you becomes the anchor. And the ones who make it through, they rely on systems within the foundation. They rely on mindset from the mind growth. And they rely on faith bigger than the fear. And today's episode is proof that you don't need perfect conditions to progress. You need commitment and some gratitude in your attitude. Welcome to the show, Cordero Stewart, man. How you feeling?
Hey, how you doing, my brother? Hey, man, I'm blessed every day. 1% better each day.
That's what I'm talking about. I say better every day when people ask me how I'm doing, but man, I seen your page and I see the message you put out there and the persistency and consistency. Why don't you just let us know where you were at leading up to this incident that you're dealing with now, and then what are you going through right now? What's the process to recover?
Okay, so before everything happened, I was a personal trainer. Me and my brother got a personal training studio in Cincinnati, Ohio. My name is CLS Fitness. I was a coach at Aiken High School. Y'all see the hoodie. Also, I'm a father. I'm a father of 5, but also I'm a single father. One of my son's mother passed away 7 years ago from sickle cell mania, so I'm a single father to my son, but I'm a father of 5. All this started in 2023. 2023, it kind of felt weird. The day felt weird. So I was going about my day and like my head was hurting. I'm like, man, just let me make it through the day. Take a time now. You know how we do, take a time now. And I go to sleep and next day, hopefully I feel better. So I had trained my person I had 3 clients to train. I had a 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and a 7 o'clock. My 5 o'clock, I trained my person at 5 o'clock. My 6 o'clock came, I trained my person at 6 o'clock. Then I had 2 clients at 7. So I'm at 7, I'm like, my head hurting. No lie, brother. So you know how, if you ever watch X-Men and like his head started and you like, I'm like that. So I sit down next to my brother talking to me, I'm like, brother, what you about to do? He like, yeah, I'm about to go home. Next thing you know, I heard a pop in my chest and my throat. I went down. From that point, I went to the hospital. I had to have an emergency. I was bleeding from the inside. My aorta had ruptured, so I was bleeding internally. But I was never out of it. But I had to have emergency surgery to put a stent in to stop the bleeding. Otherwise, I was going to die from internal bleeding. So they did. When I got to the hospital, they told my mom and told my family. They said, we don't know if you're going to make it. You might want to prepare for a funeral. My lovely mother, she was like, is there a chance? And was like, yeah, there's a chance. She like, well, if there's a chance, let's do it. By the grace of God, I made it through that surgery. But from that point on, I went into, I don't know if it's septic or, but I got sick and I went into a coma. I was in a coma for like 2 or 3 days. But I had a tube in my mouth. And me not never going through this type of situation, I bit down the tube the first time, the breathing tube. They had to take, I did it again. They told my brother, if you bite down this tube again, there's no way he gonna survive. From that point on, they had did like a trach collar, like where they put a hole in your neck and do the trach. So I had a trach collar. From that trach collar, I was in the hospital for, I want to say about 20 days. But I had to do rehab because my body was laid down so long. So the first time they tried to tell me, like, come on, get up, stand up. I'm trying to get up. None of these muscles is not working.
Damn.
None of these
And
muscles
they
ain't
used to
working.
work your whole life. You was a professional muscle builder, man.
Yeah,
That's
man, I'm trying to get up. I'm like, they're like, look, we gonna send you to a rehab facility. You don't go to rehab. But I had a trach collar on my neck. So I had a trach collar, so it was like a windpipe. And, I mean, but also my aorta rupture, it took a hit on my kidneys. Well, a lot of people don't know that I don't really discuss in my story, but if you look deep in it, you can see it. I had went through dialysis too. I was on dialysis for about 35 days. So I had dialysis. I was on dialysis for 35 days. So I went to the rehab facility, was on dialysis. From that point on, I went to rehab. This is the first time. So I went to the rehab, got back walking, covered, went home. But I always needed the second surgery to completely fix the aorta. So man, it was so crazy. I went to get back, I started back working. I even made it back to my job because I was security at the high school. Also, I was a strength and conditioning coach for the high school basketball team. So I went back to work. We in the season. We had a great season. But I want to say February 2024, I was feeling tired and weak. So I went into the doctor, like, man, we got to have a second surgery. So I had the second surgery in February 2024. So 2024, um, I had the surgery. The surgery was a success, supposedly. This out in Cincinnati. So they did the surgery. I was at home. Man, it was one of the largest. The aorta surgery is one. If anybody ever had aorta surgery, it's one of the largest cuts in your body that you can have. The cut goes from right here all the way to the middle of my belly. I had that surgery. I'm at home. I'm rested. I feel like I'm happy. I'm home. Good. I'm home, but I'm not feeling like strong. I'm not feeling strong. So like the one pass and everything. So I'm sitting there at the time. I'm staying with my brother, and I'm sitting there. I'm can't really get up. I'm getting dizzy and stuff. Not anything too much. I'm like, man, it's just the complications. Just a little bit from the surgery. So I had a CT scan, the X-ray. I remember this day like yesterday. It was April 10th of 2024. Now, mind you, my daughter, she graduated this year. So they do the CT scan. They're like, hey, man, you got to get to the hospital now. You ain't throwing no blood or nothing. This is what the doctor said in Cincinnati. I'm like, nah, I'm fine. I'm cool. So I get there. Man, it's like a team full of like 8, 9 doctors.
damn.
They thinking I'm like, but I'm like, man, I'm fine. I feel weak, but I'm all right. So it's a team of like 8 or 9 doctors. So they like, man, get in the bed, man, put the IVs in me and all that stuff. So then they like, they get there, they like, yeah, man, so we seen the CT scan and we want to let you know that you got a hole in your esophagus, which is going into your aorta, which is affecting it. So we got to do another surgery. But this third surgery, so this surgery, 3 and 4, but we got to do another surgery. We got to do an open heart surgery, which is one down the middle to fix my, it's a descending aorta, it's the aorta on the side, and it's the aorta near your heart. It's two different parts, but it was one they go from the heart, they go to the side. I mean, go in, I don't know, but it's on the side. I mean,
No.
it was open heart surgery. It was open heart surgery. So, but also they had to do something with my esophagus because it had a hole in it. It had a small hole in it. It was a small hole, like my esophagus, where the food go down. But when, like I send it to you. If you send me your number, I'll send it to you do after this too. It's like your esophagus, but like it was like a hole, like a black spot. They're like, yeah, we gotta fix this up. But we're gonna do 3 different surgeries. These gonna be 3 big surgeries. So the first part is gonna be the open heart surgery. From the open heart surgery, we're gonna do the aorta. We're gonna do the aorta again. So this third time I had the surgery on my aorta, but also with the open heart. And from that point on, we gonna do we gonna patch the esophagus. But the first time they did the esophagus, they used a piece of my muscle in my back, put it in my esophagus. So they did this. They did them 3 surgeries. I was in there for, I want to say I was in there for 35, 36 days. So, at this point, man, I'm like, man, these hospital stays starting to become, I mean, I ain't never been in prison, nothing, but, when you confined like that,
The food the same
you get a
shit.
little, hey, you know what I'm not able to eat and under
Right.
somebody else's, but I'm in there. I'm in there for 35 days. So I'm like, man. But my mindset always told me, daughter, I ain't get out of here for my daughter graduated. I do another little round of rehab. So I'm like, man, God, you just get up and walk around. It's gonna help you get better. I get up, walk around, boom, boom, bam, and I see your pictures of me on my daughter graduation. So I make it to my daughter graduation. But I couldn't eat at the time. So I couldn't eat at the time. So I had to tube my nose through the feeding tube that go in my stomach. This the first time with the esophagus. So they did that. So I would make it to my daughter's graduation, man. I mean, it was the most beautiful time ever.
Damn. Made it.
Making this shit this is my oldest daughter. Making it to her graduation and seeing her graduate, it was something special.
So
I
how
wouldn't take that back from the world.
Yeah, man. No, I admire your ability to persevere and make it through all that, and you had a goal in your mind. When was the time where you were like, where the self-doubt crept in? Was there ever a time when you were like, damn, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to be there for my kids?
Oh, we gonna be here for a while, brother. So this the second time. So I make it there, right? I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give it with the self doubt, a little bit of self doubt. So the second time I get home in May, June, July, boom, boom, bam. So look, the day Labor Day weekend, 2024. Man, man, we do like a fire workout. I'm talking about like one of the greatest workouts a basketball team can ever have. Shout out to the basketball team because we had state runner up in Ohio, Division 3. It was a fire workout, and it was something on my mind like, man, this team gonna be special. So we do that. So the night that I get back to the house, it's a pain in my side. I'm like, man, it's a
Damn.
pain. My oldest daughter with me. I'm like, it's a pain, it's a pain. So I take 2 Tylenol. Next thing you know, I get the bubble in my stomach. Man, I got to throw up. No lie, brother. Like I said, I'm gonna see you all these pictures. Some of them might, but look at it. Man, no lie, I throw up blood. It's puddle of blood. Here we go again.
Damn.
Here we go again. Big puddle of blood. My daughter see it. Freak her out. My son see it. He like, so I go to UC Hospital again. That's in Cincinnati. But this time, you know what they talking about, brother? Hey man, we might have to put you on hospice. But we can see you somewhere else for a second opinion. So I had 2 options. Mind you, I'm in Ohio. They say either go to Houston, Texas, which is probably 1,000 something miles away from Ohio, or go to Cleveland, Ohio. I said, send me to Cleveland for the second opinion. Cincinnati won't work on me no more. So I went to Cleveland. So I got there like September the 10th of 2024. From September 10th of 2024 to November the 22nd, 2024. Like, so when I get to Cleveland now, man, doubt somebody out. My kids come to see me in Cincinnati. We all breaking down and crying, but I'm got doubt like, man, it's like these surgeries getting tired. And it was a little doubt, but my mama said the first time there's a chance, I always thought, as long as there's a chance, I could make it through. But it was a moment of frustration more so than doubt. Because I'm the type of person that never think of the worst outcome. I always think of like, if I make it through, hey,
Well, you a
what's the
coach.
process to get
You
better?
got an athlete mindset. You can't ever be like, oh, we about to lose. You got to go to the end regardless.
Bingo. There you go, brother. So we there. I'm in Cleveland, but they not working on me. So I'm in there days and days. They running tests and stuff. Then they come in there probably like middle of September. They like, yeah, man. So man, in order to maintain life, uh, you got to have another surgery on the aorta, open heart, because they all got affected again. But this time we got to cut off part of your esophagus through what is called esophagectomy. So my sister-in-law, she's a nurse back in Cincinnati. And she's like, yeah, do this esophageal. It ain't gonna be that bad. I looked it up. Cause I'm always somebody who look up things. I look it up, I'm like, 9, no, I'm not doing no self-injecting.
Stop
No, no, no,
protecting
no, no. Yeah. So they like self-injected, we got to do another appointment. We got to do their order. So that what is 5, 6, and 7. But so the first one they did October 4th of 2024 was a esophageal. So they did that surgery. So I wake up out of the surgery, but I got a bag on my neck. I'm like, I'm in ICU. They like, yeah. Nurse like, yeah, you got a esophageal, which is called spit fistula. So like anytime you swallow or feel like you gotta, I mean you ain't gotta spit necessarily, but anytime you swallow, your saliva going straight in that bag. So I'm just swallowing. I'm seeing this bag. I'm like, man, this just ain't normal. Like level of
what's
frustration is at
how
like a
long did
20 right now.
how long did it take you to start posting that online where you had to like accept it and be like, all right, I'm gonna start motivating people with this?
Maybe January, February last year.
For like 5
Maybe January, February last year. I want to say. So they put the bag in my neck, so I got the bag. They did the other surgery on the aorta and the open heart. But they're like, yeah. So man, I don't know, man. I don't know. But they had you on a lot of different meds. But the doctor told me, hey, as soon as you're able to walk and once they come back and see me, I'll put your esophagus back together. I'm thinking like it's gonna be a couple months. Man, brother, I waited a whole year plus
Mm.
for this surgery. So first beginning of the month, but for people don't know, like when I had the surgery, and that's why I say, man, God is so good. When I first had the surgery, I got home, I was still weak, but I'm getting I'm at home November. They got me on a bunch of mid heavy, so I'm at home December. So I go home to my house in December, January, but my body feel like half itself. Cause like you got your body, you got your esophagus, but then I got a feeding tube. But the feeding tube give me things I need to survive, nutrients and all that stuff to survive. So I'm doing that. Body like at this time was like real cold. Like the cold really affected me. And I got the spit fistula, but the spit fistula gotta get changed every 2 or 3 days. And then like they said like they was like, yeah, you gotta have a little bit of water, but you gotta empty the thing. Emptying that thing, seeing all that spit. I mean, was not. I do
I
not
can't,
wish it on my worst enemy.
man, I can't stand spit.
I do
I
not
don't
wish it
even
on.
for some
I do not
reason.
wish it on my worst enemy. But so I got the spit for the January, February. What's that famous saying about train a child as as you as you would, and he will never leave you. Now, my boy never left my side. He never told me no. He never, even when I got frustrated, he was always yes sir, yes sir, yeah, yes sir. God, every day I might call home more than 5,300 times a day. He'll make sure I have my nutrients. He'll make sure I got what I need, man. And this boy only at the time he was only 12, going in 13. So January come, February come. I get so I post a little bit, let people know. So cause people seen a picture of me one time, man, I look like I was like face skinny. Man, I look like I'm just dying.
I saw the
So
before
my
picture, man. You was stacked. You had muscle, you was tall, you had the physique and everything.
yeah, yeah, yes,
And people
sir.
was used to that.
Yep. So they seen a picture of me in February, this 2025. They're like, man, something wrong with him, man. He look like he real sick. They're like it's about over. It might have been some people that counted me out, but I never counted myself out.
Hell no, chose
I always
yourself.
thought, I always thought to myself, look, and I remember, man, I remember a doctor told me, don't count your days, count your milestones. So
Mhm.
I'm January, February, March, you get a little warm outside. My body feel like it's like anemic. So anytime I get cold, my body get real sensitive, all that. But I'm on the feeding tube this whole time. March, April, May. So I start posting a little bit, boom, boom, bam, let people know, man, hey, I'm working out a little bit, but I'm still weak. And so June hit, Father's Day hit. You know what started making me start posting? My daughter got me my second oldest daughter, she got me the selfie stick. And that made me think, like, man, it made me think, like, start posting your journey. You never know who you could motivate.
Man,
So I go outside in June, right? So my oldest daughter recording, and she like, so I'm like running, my shirt off, bag on my chest, all that. So I record that. I wasn't really doing it for the attention, but it's like, man, no matter what, push through, push through.
Mhm.
I do that boom, boom, bam. So June hit, July hit. And I'm gonna tell you what made it all go viral. I don't know if you seen it got like over 1 million views. So I'm sitting down on outside of my porch. And then I remember I said, the sign of a true champion, I'm sitting down. Bag on my chest, I said, the sign of a true champion, I get up. And they hurted me to get up. I said, it's his ability to get back up when life knocks him down.
Yeah, I saw that one.
This guy named Sean Hall, he a boxing trainer. And he was like, man, what's the way I can help? I'm like, man, you know what, man, I'm behind on bills. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe. If you could share it, that'd be great. From that point on, man, I got thousands of likes. And then it started getting to hundreds of thousands. Then I'm looking at the views. The views getting to thousands. Then it get to 100,000. And then it get to 500,000. And then it gets to like 1 million. I'm like, oh man. So my local news station called me. They're like, yeah, we seen your story on Instagram. We want to do an interview with you. So from that point, I did an interview with my local news station. Shout out to, I don't know, I don't want to say her name wrong, but shout out to her for the interview to get my story out there. And I was talking about my story. I told her, look, at first I was embarrassed, but then I thought about it. And I'm thinking like, man, this is testimony.
Mhm.
Why not share? Why not let somebody know no matter what you're going through, continue to battle, continue to fight? So I did that. The doctor called me September. They like, yeah, your surgery to fix your aorta is October 11th. No, October 30th. But man, no lie, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I probably wasn't doing what I needed to do, so my surgery got delayed. And you'll question like, man, why did this get delayed? I questioned it a little bit, but when you ain't take care of business, man, God ain't gonna put you in that position.
You got yeah, you gotta back up your prayer with action. I say it all the time. You gotta do it so he can bless you.
And at that time, I went to the doctor in Cleveland. I was 100. She like, man, you only like 100. You're 102 pounds. You gotta get to at least 125 in order for this to do this surgery. And then it's the doctor who was gonna do the surgery. He like, man, you just ain't gonna recover, man. Well, you gotta get up to weight. So from that point off, October to December, I ain't gonna lie to you, I had some bulk and milk protein that I was putting in my body. I was putting juices in my body. I was doing a formula.
So you was like, "Fuck it, I'm going back to the lifestyle. Like, I've been doing this too long. Let me get back." Or did you think it would help?
It helped. It helped me pick up that weight. So I'm getting 113. Then I get to 118. The next thing you know, I called my doctor. I'm like, look, I'm at 125. They're like, okay. So they called me like, so your surgery will be December 11th. So December 11th, 2025. December 11th, 2025, I go back up to Cleveland. We had a surgery. It was an hour surgery. It was a success. I ain't got no bag on my neck no more. I ain't got
Dang.
these weird sounds. Every time I spit, there ain't no weird sounds. Like, then the bag, for real, man, the bag, it'll start to wear you, like, it'll wear your body. But man, everything been a success. Right now, currently, I'm at a stage. So it's stages to where before they want you to eat. So right now, I'm at the stage where I got popsicles
Mashed
and I have a
potatoes,
little bit of applesauce.
applesauce.
Yeah, I got some food.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also on December 16th, I get a scope down my throat and I'll be able to eat regular foods. But that's where we at right now, brother.
Damn, bro, you done made it through the shit, through the smut, hell on earth, man. Was there something, was your diet prior to the initial situation that started this whole thing, was your diet on point, or was there something that was some toxins you were indulging that might have flipped the switch?
So 2022, but I'm feeling like a pain in my side. So I won't go to the hospital. Man, I ain't paid no attention. I wasn't the type person that really listen to doctors. I always thought like, man, let me naturally
Mhm.
do this myself. Everything will be all right. So they do like a CT scan. They're like, man, you gotta dilate aorta. Doctor like, man, you don't do this. If you don't lower your blood pressure,
Right.
it's gonna burst in the skin and you're gonna die. Mind you, this before everything happened. So at this time, I go to the gym 45 days straight. At 5 a.m., I lose a lot of weight, cut up and all that. But when I didn't manage it, I wasn't managing my blood pressure. I ain't changing nothing about my diet. I just lost weight and was working out. I didn't do nothing about my blood pressure. So it was the blood pressure part. But it's a lot of things like
Yeah.
I don't want to get into because
Right, right. Yeah.
about like blood pressure that you can regulate it where you really, really don't really need what big pharma is selling you.
Mhm.
I get it. I don't want to get into that, but
That's what I'm
that
saying,
might be too deep.
I got I partner with the highest absorbed supplements on the market that are bridging the gap between what's missing, the gut repair solution. I'm actually going there on Saturday, but I started taking my health serious because there's people that I've spoken to on the podcast and in the industry who are healthy in the fitness industry, and they just drop. I'd be like, "What? I can't go for that." So I'm like trying to figure out how to get the most optimum health. So I admire your strength. I saw another post that you was talking about getting into the Bible and your faith. Were you always a faithful man in God, or is that a new thing since this?
My relationship with God, it was almost non-existent. I'm telling you, it was, honestly, brother. And I just talked to my sister. I talked to my big sister about this yesterday. So I went to church with her. This was years ago. I'm like 13, 14. No lie to you, brother. She was in this church that had this pastor, and he got so much money on my sister. When we got out of the church, it was time to eat. I said, sister, buy something to eat. You know what she did? I ain't got no money. I seen her give away, no lie, maybe $500-600, and it just did something to me. Like, man, how could a man of faith
Mhm.
take everything away from my sister and she not had nothing to feed her family? So from that point on, I really didn't really have that much faith in God and all this stuff. What made brought me closer to God was really the doctor said when I brushed my aorta, I had a 20% chance of living. And my mama having faith. That's what brought me closer to it. And I started like from that point I started reading little small episodes and trying to get an understanding of the word. And I've been getting a better understanding, brother.
Yeah.
And it's been great, man. And it all makes sense. I'm not like to a certain religion like Christian or nothing like that. But I just read it to get understanding. I'm not a Christian. I'm not an atheist. I'm not Muslim.
Yeah.
We all got a God. We all got a God that we believe in. I'm not
It's
to
inside.
a specific God, but yeah, it's a God inside of us. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, I always say, man, I believe Jesus was a man and a spiritual leader, but my God is the God that Jesus was seeking. I'm on my own journey.
Yes,
People writing my story, just like his 12 homies wrote the Bible, but he didn't write the Bible. He wasn't a Christian. He was finding God, or they say he was God. Well, we all resemble Jesus. Is that what the Bible says? So let me resemble him by trying to seek with gratitude, accountability, foundation, prayer. That's one thing you said too. The foundation will hold through the fire, but if it ain't strong enough, you're
absolutely.
gonna have to reset the foundation. And I talk about that all the time.
You got to.
The choose yourself process. And the foundation is your solitude. What do you do when no one's watching? That's how you strengthen your authenticity and integrity, man. But yeah, man, hey, your story is admirable. I know it's gonna inspire a bunch of people. Can people work with you online? Do you have courses online, or is there virtual coaching?
I'm trying to get into it. I want to eventually get to like doing podcasts like you, man, and talking to people and seeing if I can help people, man. And even if it's just like words of encouragement, if I can help people, whatever, I want to inspire people. It was one other person that went through what I went through, but he never told his story.
Hmm.
And me and him communicate today. He from somewhere in Georgia. And I'm gonna go see him and he had successful surgery, but he had the same exact thing that I went through. But it is rare. And I want people to know, like, give up. And brother, I ain't gonna lie, I seen comments to where people were like, man, just throw it all away.
Yeah.
Or man, I would have just gave up. And man, for what? The mindset is a beautiful thing. The mindset is an absolutely beautiful thing. When we use it, and your mindset sets the foundation for everything.
Hmm.
And you know the way God tested me, I test the kids every day
Hmm.
to become stronger, become better. It was my turn to be tested. And like I said, I was reading Corinthians verses 12 through 15. And he gonna test you through that fire. He gonna save you, but he gonna save your foundation.
Yep.
Is if you got a solid foundation, that foundation still gonna stand.
Yep.
And it can be rebuilt and it can be rebuilt through anything, as long as that foundation is strong.
Yeah, man. No, for sure. For sure. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on the Choose Yourself channel.
Yes,
Y'all,
sir.
y'all tap in with my guy Cordero, man. CLS Fitness LLC on IG. He keeps it positive. You'll definitely be able to grow your mind. I'm gonna put his tag in the comments, and y'all make sure you leave a review. Go tap in with him. And he's in. You in Cleveland? That's where you working at?
I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati. Shout out to Aiken Falcons basketball too, man.
Aiken Falcons. Yes, sir.
Y'all keep hooping, man. Y'all boys take care of each other on that team and do the work in the off season so you can come back and pull from an overflow and score some more. In the meantime, in between time, big dream time, gut clean time, keep the gratitude in your attitude, and always choose yourself.